Okay, joining us now is our Coors Light Pole winner for the 2010 Coca-Cola 600, and that is Ryan Newman. He drives the number 39 U.S. Army Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. And Ryan, this is your 46th career pole in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. You passed Buck Baker and move into a tie for 10th place with Hall of Famer Junior Johnson. So congratulations on that. And this is also Chevrolet's 600th career pole in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Quite fitting for the Coca-Cola 600. So congratulations on your effort tonight.
Thank you. I'm glad the numbers worked out right for once. Ultimately, it was a great lap. I ran the high line, which I've never done in qualifying here before. So it tells you how much things have changed between the tires, the racetrack, and the cars to be able to do something different than I've always done to create that ultimate fast lap. So had a lot of confidence after practice, and I watched Montoya have a good 1 and 2, and he missed 3 and 4, and that gave me more hope because I knew he was going to be the benchmark, at least based for overall speed that he put down in practice. So great to have the U.S. Army on the car this weekend for Memorial Day weekend and the Coca-Cola 600, and it's an honor to represent those soldiers and try to do our best to celebrate Memorial Day in the right way.
Questions for Ryan Newman? If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless. Right over here to the right, Jim Utter, and then Kenny Bruce.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Ryan,
I built a duck pen this morning, just so you know. So if you want to put that on the side, no.
Did you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Future
article.
For a guy who's prolific in qualifying to change his way around a track that he's been very good at, what was it? What has happened? What have you seen or talked to people or saw that prompted you to make such a dramatic change?
The way I went, the way I ran in practice. We were still 2/10 off of Montoya, but we were running his line, and he was the quickest car. And from my standpoint, looking at it, it was his line, and he was showing us how to do it. And I used his example that he led by, and fortunately we had a great lap. But I lost a little bit of confidence in my sail when Tony Gibson came on the radio before it went out and said the top 5 guys ran the bottom. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're trying to convince me to run the bottom, I don't appreciate it because I'd already made up my mind. I talked to Jimmy Johnson, actually, and said that he asked me, and I was going to ask him, but he asked me first. He says, you going to run the top or the bottom? I said, I'm going to go for the top. I'm going to go for it all. And I did, and it paid off. So it's just when you feel it's right, you feel it's right, and it's probably no different than a baseball player swinging at a pitch that he knows he can hit. He just swings at it and hits it and knocks it out of the park.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with SceneDaily.com. Ryan, out on the grid, you said that was probably the most courageous lap you'd ever run here. I mean, compared to your other 45 poles that you've won, I mean, how out there was today's lap?
I've never run into a corner at 200 miles an hour up against the wall and made it stick and still come out the other end. So to have the courage to be able to put yourself in that position and do that is tough enough, let alone doing it and pulling it off and winning that pole. So it was, from my standpoint, it was courageous because I've never been a guy to run the wall, let alone in qualifying. So from my standpoint, it was courageous. From other people's standpoint, Dale Jr. or Martin Truex, other guys that run the top all the time, it may not have been that big a deal.
Anything else for Ryan? Lee has one right there, and then Don in the front row.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. Ryan, 9 poles at this racetrack. I mean, I know I've heard you say you love this racetrack, but what is it about this track that enables you to consistently win as many poles as you do here?
Well, ideally, I'd like to spread it all out, over some different racetracks, but I haven't been that fortunate. I guess beggars can't be choosers. But in general, I really like this racetrack. I like the speed. I like the banking. When I first came here with Buddy Baker, we drove around in a rental car, and after one lap, I looked at him and said, "I'm going to like this place," and I always have. I mean, it's a place that I like. I've been fortunate to have good equipment. I've been able to take that good equipment and make it fast, and it's just a combination of team effort, and 9 times out of 19 we've been able to pull it off.
Don?
Okay, if these numbers right, this is your 600 pole.
What happens in the fall? Is that what you're going to ask me? What happens in the fall?
Well, no, I was going to say, what do you have to do to make this one turn out different than the first 5?
I don't know. You asked me that after the 5th one and the 4th one.
And the 4th one and the 3rd one.
Honestly, it's just a matter of going out there and just like we did tonight, it's a team effort. And, that team, the difficulty of it expands once you include the pit crew, once you include multiple pit stops and strategies and everything else. And, I've always told you guys, it's been easier for me to go out and run one lap and do it fast than it is to go out there and run 600 miles fast. And, I can do that. It's just a matter of putting yourself in that track position, putting yourself in the right position, the right tires on the car because you have good pit crew and things like that. So I feel like I'm more prepared than I ever have been as far as our team. Our pit stops have gotten better. I feel like it's from an experience standpoint, 5 times now I know what I did wrong, but ultimately it's the best place to start, and it's where we want to all finish. And there's only one that puts it all together. I'll have to talk to Jimmy, I guess. The duck, yeah. Well, I'll have a meeting with the ducks and get the ducks all in a row. Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Embry, SpeedTV.com. Ryan, did
hopefully I don't quack up.
Could you have imagined that it would be 13 races in before you got your first pole this year? And you're still a few away, but you're in a position to eventually overtake David Pearson with poles here. Would that mean anything in particular to you?
No different than it would be taking over Buddy Baker's record at Atlanta. I think I'm tied with him now, but ultimately it's what we all strive for is to be the fastest, to be the best, to be the quickest, and get to victory lane. But it would mean a lot to me. I think David Pearson is an excellent race car driver, still is an excellent race car driver, and it's ultimately it's just a number. But to be where I am and have a shot at it, that's cool. But I'm still a long ways away. 5. It took me this long to get 9, and not that it took me that long, but it's not easy to win one, and 5 more is not going to be easy at all.
Anything else for Ryan? Okay, Ryan, congratulations on the Coors Light Pole for the Coca-Cola 600.
Thank you.